I don't know if you've tried Notebook LM. They
Yeah.
have this amazing feature where you can upload like your LinkedIn if you want on Notebook LM and create an infographic. This is what I did. And this is the kind of journey that I've created. I just love this slide, so I always start this slide. Um, funny, funny comment is that every time I give a training and I start with this slide, everyone is like, "Wait, what is this? How did you do this?" And we derail the conversation. So I created, if you want to find out how to create your own infographic like this, I added a little like it's 3 steps. Take that for later. Okay, so.
Yeah.
I am very technical. I did a PhD in machine learning in 2011 at Google, funded by Google. And I always wanted to get into games, be a game developer. Um, Never thought anything around business or product. The word product came to my life after finishing my PhD. Okay. That means I mean, you're going to find out my age, but I think I was 27 at the time. No idea what the product was back then. So when they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, do you want to interview to become a product manager?" I got offended and I said, "Why did I do all these studies? Why did I complete a PhD to forget everything and get into sales? Sales are totally fine, just not what I wanted to do." And then they said, "No, no, no, product is amazing. Come join." So I joined and, I joined Google in 2013. And I joined this wonderful group of scientists that told me, "Hey, we have a cool tech. We can translate sound into text. And um, we just don't know what to do with it. And we need you to become the bridge between that cool tech and what people want." And that's when I realized, oh my God, product is the best thing possible. Also, I have no idea how to do product. So I started kind of trying to find sources, reach out to people. There was no content, there was no books, there was nothing back then. Somehow I passed the interviews, which is amazing and a dream. And then eventually I started creating content around the AI and product management, which is what I was doing. And here I am 12 years later. So I worked for Google for 7 years. We created the Google Assistant, hardware devices, smart speakers. Then Meta reached out. So I went to Meta for 2 years, Meta Reality Labs. I was leading avatars, which was really cool and really interesting. And then Google reached out to say, "Hey, we have LLMs now. Come back, do what you were doing, but replace the capabilities of speech with LLMs." Okay, so use cases like, which room is my cat at? Or, give me a summary of what happened in my home today. And, just like Sue said, I have 3 kids. So my summaries are like, kids were jumping on the couch and there were a lot of screaming. But it's great that we can do this sort of thing now, right? Anyways, so when Sidebar reached out and said, "Marily, what would you like to talk to us about today?" I said, "You know what? Let's talk about product sense, but for AI. So AI product sense." And it's a topic that's still very nascent. It's not defined yet. So I'm starting, I'm part of the conversation. And by the way, if anyone is interested in teaming up, I'm always looking for instructors for my bootcamp. I'm always looking for people to write on my newsletter. I have a newsletter that has 100,000 followers. And, if anyone is interested, just reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd love to collaborate with people. Um, so I wanted to talk about this, and I'm glad Sue gave you this prompt around, what is AI product sense? And that's how I want to start. I want to ask you all to type in, what is AI product sense? Don't overthink it. Just give me what comes to your mind in the chat, and I'll tell you what my what I think I will see. So I'm gonna give you just like 30 seconds if you want, just to see what you write. All right. And it's so nice to see you. Thank you for turning on your cameras. It's good. When to introduce a human in the loop. Okay, very interesting. Same as product sense. Beta, very interesting. Understanding what's important for users, humans, when interacting with AI. Judgment on what's great versus okay. What okay, judgment on what great versus good versus okay looks like for AI applications. Very interesting. So, and by the way, if you're okay, I'm putting together a very big kind of post around AI product sense. I'll copy these over. If you're okay, I can use your name. If not, just let me know. How to best develop the best products leaning on unique capabilities unlocked by AI. Love it. So, AI product sense is a muscle built through repetition, right? By seeing real outputs, catching real failure modes, and making real product decisions over uncertainty. So AI is all about, you know, the probabilistic nature of AI, right? Every single time I'm going to try something, the output is going to be different. So to me, AI product sense is getting ahead of that, okay? Staying ahead of these failure modes and then figuring out how to add guardrails and fallbacks so that at the end of the day, the user experience is awesome. Okay. So AI product sense is understanding how AI affects your product, your experience. And it's a muscle that is going to take a while, to kind of flex. So I've asked this question to different forums the past 2 days, and you know, the answers are widely different. So some described it as model knowledge, some described it as eval, some described it as prompting, some described it as safety, some as cost and unit economics, right? But um, the industry is still figuring out what this is. And let's see, Ilya says that they work in traditional ML, and then maybe knowing how to evaluate quality of AI because it can be often difficult to eval if AI is good enough for your use case. Yes. So let me give you an example. Um, I think my example of Google before LLMs and after LLMs is a very good example because before LLMs, I was hard coding things and it was like, hey, set a timer for 5 minutes. Perfect. But then if you said something like, hey, set a timer for 5 minutes, oh, make it two, the answer would be either nothing or I don't understand what you mean. Whereas today, if you say, hey, set a timer for 5 minutes, oh, wait, 2 minutes, it's going to say, okay, setting a timer for 2 minutes. So AI product sense is staying ahead of all that stuff and understanding all the ways AI can fail, can go wrong, so that you already build around that and for that. Okay. So it's again, it's a skill. You build around the fact that outputs bounce around, let's say, and you add some light structure to the feedback and the outputs that your product is gonna have. So I'm gonna pause here. Let me know if there are any questions, if there's anything people want to ask or anything around that. So you really need to start mapping the failure modes and design around them. Okay, hold that thought. There is also another thing on AI product sense. Some people say AI product sense, but what they mean is product sense with AI. That is different, although some people use the term AI product sense, which is totally okay. Meta introduced a new interview and they say, hey, let's do product sense. I want you to build a smart shoe. How would you do it? Please use AI. That is different. That is more like, okay, let's think through a problem together. Let's share your screen, Marily, and tell me how would you use AI tools in order to design that smart shoe? And I'll do some of that as well so that you can see how I would do it, so how I would design a shoe by using AI models so that you can kind of see. But yeah, we're living in an era where AI is all around us. It's no longer an option to adopt it and understand it and choose it and all these things, right? Um, and yeah, long story short, this is what we'll be talking about together. And again, I love how Sidebar is very much around learning and being transparent and having a conversation. So I don't want to make this a lecture where I just speak. I want to make this a conversation. If, for example, there's an example from your company where you can say, actually, Marilee, you know what? At our company, you know, we do design around these guardrails after the fact. Okay. So just tell me, yeah, please raise your hand. Let's make this a conversation, right? Okay. So I want to share my screen. And by the way, the other thing I do is I run the most popular AI product management certification and bootcamp. If anyone is interested, we give big discounts as part of Sidebar. So please reach out to Sue. We're happy to tell you, to give you a special link. But I want to share my other screen now and show you this other doc I put together for you. So here's a definition. Knowing what to build with AI models, designing around that unpredictability, and ensuring the economics work so users trust it enough to let it act for them. Okay? So you design around the unpredictability, but because we're PMs, we still want to find product market fit. So we still want to figure out a way to, make this viable from a money perspective. Okay? Um, so it's a nice finding the right balance between these failures and something that will still add value to users. Okay. So in classic product science, you're judged on understanding user needs, clarifying the problem, brainstorming a solution, making trade-off, defining successes. But in AI product science, you're judged on all the above, plus how models actually behave in the wild. What's easy versus hard for models? Like what I said, hey, set a timer for 5 minutes. Or, hey, set a timer for 2 minutes. Or sending a calendar invite. Oh my God, I did this the other day. Sending a calendar invite, which would be like, hey, create a meeting at 2 p.m. called Merrily having lunch with, oh, wait, make it lunchtime meeting. I've done that before, and then the calendar invite would say lunch meeting. Oh, wait, right? So this is the sort of thing we want to work around. So how to design around problematic and probabilistic outputs, how to avoid expensive ideas, how to build trust around uncertainty, how to collaborate with AI as a partner. Okay. So last but not least, AI product science is the fit between the user need, the model's real behavior, and the economic envelope that lets the behavior repeatedly deliver value under uncertainty. And that's why Meta has that interview I was talking to you about. Okay. I'm going to pause here, see if there are any questions. If anyone, yes.
Marily, I do. I mean, if anyone else does, please raise or go off mute and ask. What is economic envelope mean? Are you referring directly to something like credits, or are you talking about business modeling and how that fits into it? What are we talking about there?
Yeah, sounds good. Um, it's the method that will bring finances to you. So economic envelope is kind of your strategically. Are you going to have ads? Are you going to have subscriptions? It's more like your monetization mental model, if you will. But I
Mm.
really like that expression, the economic envelope. I think it's a very nice way to kind
Yeah.
of to say this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. Um, okay. So I'm switching tabs at all times. This is what I do. I'm very chaotic. There we go. So the outer bubble, we have people talking about AI, and then people using AI, and then people building AI, and then people building with AI. So everyone is now becoming the AI builder, right? There's the dawn of the AI builder, if you will. And if you're building with AI, there's absolutely no way for you to build successfully if you don't have that AI product sense. Traditionally, as you know, we went from idea to PRD to debate to refine to build, and now we go from idea, we brainstorm with AI, we prototype using a prototyping tool, the team experiences, we refine it, we build it. Okay, so that's kind of the emergent model that that we have as PMs, right? Now, Mind you, for complex things, documents still matter, right? But for many ideas, the prototype itself is the spec. So, oh yeah, and one more thing. There's a founder that told me this. There will be people building with AI and people who are not building with AI. If you're not building with AI, you're not going to be building at all. Yeah, Anne-Marie is like, oh my God, yes, yes. So, what a quote, right? Um, it's again not the luxury. I can't believe it's 2026 and we're still talking about this. But the fact that you're here is probably because you do want to build. So it's time to build. It's time to develop that AI product sense. And I was thinking the best thing we can do is for me to get my hands dirty and show you how I built with AI tools. And maybe, that is gonna help you and give you kind of a little inspiration for what you can do at your own companies. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you how I develop my AI product fence. Okay. So let's say I want to build a product around like a smart assistant at home or something like this. Okay, like an experience of a smart assistant helping me cook, something like this. One of my favorite tools is Perplexity, and the reason I love using Perplexity is because it has direct access to Reddit and Reddit data. So if you go in here, like obviously you can choose like the model and all these things. Or if you can go here, you can either upload your own files or you can use apps or sources. And that's here the magic. If you uncheck web and only check social, it's only going to search through what people are saying online and on Reddit. So what I like doing is something like, okay, I am a product manager working on AI features for voice assistants. Are people interested in um, recipes generated by AI? Something like that. And then I search. So I'm building my AI product sense and I'm developing my product search with AI by, first of all, here's how I use a tool to kind of mold it and help me understand what people would want. I get a little summary and sure, it says users gravitate to AI for idea generation, hands-free, step-free guidance, da da da. Okay, great. Your AI product sense is knowing what to ask next. Okay, so next I want to ask a follow-up and be more like, okay, who are the people talking about this? So that I can understand who my persona is. So again, this is more of a product sense with AI. This is what I would do if they ask me for an interview question. Or I would say, okay, here's how I identify who my user segments are. So planners and parents, smart home and voice assistant users, skeptical or traditional cooks, AI generalists who happen to cook. Okay. So now I would say, okay, for, I don't know, busy planners and parents, look at this, two agents. One agent that is against cooking with AI and one that is pro cooking with AI and have them debate with each other and tell me what feature to build to maximize my chances for product market fit. So this kind of replaces you standing on the whiteboard and answering an interview question, and it's super cool because look, now I'm having two AIs talk to each other and just debating. And not only that, this is not fake in any way because you can see it sends you to the actual sources. All right. So it's more than just a search feature. It's if you have the product sense to know how to mold it and use it for your product, it's just amazing, right? So trust is better than novelty, voice and low friction in UX. Yeah, this is just phenomenal. Super, 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 super good. Okay.
Marily, while we're on this, quick question for you. So is the resource when you choose social only Reddit, or is it also looking at other threads?
For now, we only have Reddit.
Okay.
That's because they can't connect to Twitter because
Okay.
Twitter wants you to use Grok.
Ah.
However, if you go to Grok, you'll get a similar thing. But the thing is,
Mhm.
on Twitter, people have their name and their brand. They're not going to talk about cooking with AI, right? But on
Right.
Reddit, everything is anonymous, so they will. So that's kind of it. Anyway, so I know my features. I know what I need to build. So I'll just copy this. Okay. Next thing you want to do is go on some PRD generator. And I've created PRD generator on ChatGPT with a custom GPT. I've also created one on Gemini by using a custom gem. So, like I'm happy, to also show you how you can create a custom PRD generator. But this is the one I created. So what I would do here is create a PRD for smart clicking feature using AI that has these features. So I'm pasting my features and look at this. It creates my autopilot. So mind you, this is not going to take you 100% there. Okay, this is going to take you 70% there, which is still, pretty, pretty good, but not perfect yet. Okay. Next thing, you're just going to copy that entire PRD. And it's still going technical architecture and assumptions. I mean, obviously you will want to edit this in real world, real life, right? So you will still want to edit it. AI and data requirements, challenges, positioning. Yeah, I'll just let it go until it's done. This is amazing. It tells me how to measure success and all these things. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now I'm just gonna copy the whole thing now that it's ready. There we go. And then I will go to an AI prototyping tool like V0 or Google AI Studio, okay? Or Lovable, if that's the one you like. It doesn't matter, like it's anything. And now here is the magic. Here's your true AI product sense, okay? Here is what you will say, build what are we building again? Wait, let me see the title. Smart Cooking Autopilot. Feature that acts as a smart, let's see, cooking autopilot. Make sure to build around the probabilistic nature of AI and not guardrails. Guardrails in case of wrong output, in case of abuse, in order to maximize the user experience. Here is the PRD. So I'm going to paste this whole thing, and you see it pasted it as a TXT file. Okay. And I hit go. I'll do the same on Google AI Studio with the same prompt just to see, what kind of different thing it builds. Just out of curiosity. So I pasted the whole thing, as you see, and I say, here's the PID. It's gonna start building. All right. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with these tools at this point, but there's a panel on the left that shows you what the tool is doing. And then on the right, you can see the actual deployment and the app that's getting built. You can also see the same V0, what's happening, what's getting built. Okay. Um, yeah.
Marily, there's a question while this is populating. Ijan, do you want to come off mute and ask your question? I think that was a great question.
Yeah, sure. Hi, my name is Aijan, and I had two questions. So you mentioned that you built BRDs with ChatGPT and Gemini, and I was wondering if you saw any significant differences between the two versions, and if you did, and or if you created any evaluation around like how to build a good PRD, which model is better for what?
Yeah. So I have a nice AI PRD template. I can give this to you. And my PRDs, actually, let me find it. So my PRDs have my custom GPTs have strict requirements. There it is, I'm gonna paste it. Have strict requirements and guardrails. And I say only use my Marily's PRD. Don't deviate. This is a structure. Don't guess random stuff. Um, Leverage the insights you'll be given. So it's kind of, I've molded the PRD generator to be to sound like me, sound like my voice. On the real one I'm using at work, I've also uploaded examples of amazing parodies I've created in my voice so that it knows what to sound like. And again, like it takes me 80% there. That 20% is taking a lot of work. But it's yeah, it's great. So you see, these are still building, right? Because the prompt we added where it's like, hey, build around that probabilistic nature, build, around abuse and all these things. Um, what I like is that it tells you what is going on. So they will say theme colors, dark theme, mock data, creating AI guardrails so it understands what I told him. You can also open up the tasks. Look at this. Build recipe library with trust labels. So it understood to create this kind of trust label feature. Create weekly autopilot planner with AI guardrails. Build smart shopping list with pantry awareness. Create voice cook mode with timers. AI transparency and controls and method and settings. So I think, V0 is doing an amazing job. Let's see what's going on with Google AI Studio. Let's see. Analyze errors. Okay, it doesn't really give you as much information, but we're we're ready to see what they built. Oh my goodness. Generate my week. Let's see. Alex, AI code autopilot adjusted your Tuesday meal to use it properly. That's expiring soon. Save $3. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. But look, it's actually generating my week. So we use LLMs to create a feature that uses LLMs for, as a feature. Look at this. And the images that Nano Banana did. One pot creamy pasta with spinach, quick beef or broccoli stir fry. And then start cooking. Tap for hands-free guidance. Oh God, what's gonna happen? Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh my God. Yeah, let's start. Let's start.
Great. The first step is to thinly slice the flank steak against the grain. This helps ensure the beef is tender. Let me know when you're ready for the next step.
Ready.
Next, in a small bowl, whisk soy sauce, minced ginger, brown sugar, and cornstarch together. This will be your stir fry sauce. Let me know when that's combined.
Can you tell me a poem about beef flank steak?
From the pasture, lean and true, a flank steak for a savory view, sliced so thin against the grain, for perfect tenderness, time and again. Now, is the sauce combined?
What was the basketball score of the Warriors a couple of days ago?
I'm not able to look up specific past basketball scores. Shall we continue with the stir fry recipe? The next step is to saute the broccoli.
All right. I mean, I do a lot of these, but this is the coolest one I've had so far. But you saw, right? I tried to abuse it and I was like, oh, tell me a poem. And it told me a poem. It should not have told me a poem. But then I said, told me the basketball scores, and it provided a great answer. Well, I can't. Okay, let's continue. Let's saute out broccoli. So, anyways, that's I think really cool, really interesting. So I know we did a lot. The next step would be for you to keep making changes. Now, if we go to V0, it's still doing, which I don't even know. Well, oh, okay. Shopping in progress. It's not done yet. I'm kind of so impressed by what we built that I don't really care about seeing this, but I'll let it kind of load so that we can take a look at. But yeah, so adding some AI product sense and then building product sense with AI. This is kind of what I wanted to show you. And my last slide is, if anyone is interested in joining us, we would love to have you. And again, Sidebar is providing, we have a partnership with Sidebar to give you a discount. And you build a real product. Have an engineer attached to you to help you deploy this, and you actually build a real product. I also have a course for AI product sense coming up. If you're interested in that, just reach out to me. But yeah, thank you so much. Everyone, I know we have 20 minutes. I'd love to answer any questions, demonstrate anything else. And yeah. Oh, Shitan, can the cooking autopilot be shared outside of the Google AI Studio? Yeah, look what you can do. It takes you GitHub, save to GitHub, download the app, copy app, deploy app. Okay, so this is just amazing. Yeah.
That's
Um,
yeah. Thank you, Marily. That's a great demo. Yeah, it's
yeah.
fantastic.
And it's all free. Like it's just unbelievable the type of thing that we can do, right? So but yeah, that's meanwhile, I'm just so curious. These are still
Yeah.
building. Curious to see what it comes up with. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, I'll open it up for questions. Let me know
Yeah,
what
I'm
can
looking through the chat. I think there were some questions around the PRD and adding guardrails to the PRD directly. And I think you answered that about your chat, your custom GPT had those guardrails, which
yeah.
is why, yeah, that was
So
cool. Hmm.
yeah, I think it was good. And the thing is, AI is very good at generating these guardrails for you. So all you need to do at the end of the day is say add guardrails, because I think um it's important to mention it. So, and the thing is, you need to find, well, okay, for conversational products, there is a metric called refusal rate. You want to find the balance between what refusal rate is going to be for your product. Like you don't want to overdo it and say, oh, sorry, I can't. Oh, sorry, I can't. So you need to build experiences around it. Like, for example, now I say, hey, what's the score for the basketball? And it said, can't look that up. Okay, let's continue. Here's the broccoli to kind of steer you away from it. So I think that to me
Hmm.
was phenomenal. So
Right. I think even the poem, I wonder if it's because it was around beef. It was still in the food category. So it was like, okay, this is permitted.
yeah,
Uh,
yep,
yeah,
yeah.
that kind of made sense. That was nice to see.
Actually,
Shraddha, oh,
you
go
know,
ahead. Go ahead, Maria.
let me try one more thing. All right. Can you tell me a poem? I'm ready, but can you tell me a poem? Let's see. Okay, it's not working. What I wanted to test is what you say.
Yeah.
Like, is it because I asked for the beef or not? So,
Mm.
anyways, yeah. Okay. Shra yeah, Shraddha.
Hi, Marily.
Shraddha,
Good to see you again. Yeah. My question is, I think it was really unique at the beginning how you used Perplexity to see what the conversation's about. If you had to take this a step further, right? Like it's great that you have a PRD generator that's adding your thing, but like a lot of us can get it probably to this point. How do we then double click into showing or differentiating from other PMs in showcasing our product sense from however far you've gotten it so far so quickly?
Well, the next thing you want to do, if you really want to double down, like if I were to interview again for an L7 at Meta, which is the job I got, I still don't know how I passed that bar. Um, you would need to really dive deep into the trade-offs and use AI in order to create meaningful trade-offs. So I think I would do things like, let's see. I think at this point, we're talking about the features. I would, that's when I would bring in the interviewer and I would say, hey, interviewer, okay, are we building this for a startup, for a meat company, for big tech? Let's think about our goal. And then I would have a conversation and be like, okay, if it's an emerging company, then we care about just getting a lot of people on board. So we want to optimize for something that's shiny to just get a lot of people through the door. Don't care about monetization right now. So let's kind of, okay, imagine this is actually an emerging product. So goal is adoption. How would you change this? So I would kind of add strategy and steer the conversation a bit based on goals and metrics just to demonstrate that I'm the boss, I'm the PM here, and I'm adding goals and I'm doing this. And now I can do something like, okay, let's discuss trade-offs for a little bit. There's many other competitors in this space, so we want to optimize for speed versus cost. So I brainstorm by steering it in the right way. And look at this, like this is great. So you're showing how it's way more than just prompt engineering. It's more like how can I strategically take this through a product I'm building and maximize the chances for PMF, essentially. But yeah, that's what I would do. I interviewed someone at Google that was doing this, but what I didn't like is that the AI became the PM. And whereas I'm the P.
Right.
Okay, so you gotta bring it back. Anyways,
That
that's
was
where I'm
great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and ask the other questions, but I'm also pasting this survey, guys, for Sidebar. We take our NPS very seriously. It helps Marily, it helps us. So while Marily gets answers our questions, please take a moment to respond to the NPS right now while we're on the call. Thank you. Thank you, Marily. That helps. The
Today
visual.
I'm gonna do this was great. All right.
Okay, the next question is from Shweta, and she says, do you control design elements within your PRD instructions? How do you control for your own secret sauce that creates product differentiation when AI might build the same elsewhere?
That's what you do in the follow-ups. Like here, this is the true iteration. This is more like the execution part where I will say, actually, I want the UI to be for kids. So this is where you will put the design part and the true touch that can differentiate this product. I mean, out of all the products I've built, I want to say you need at the very least 5 iterations to make this unique. If not, everyone has kind of the same product, right? And it's very often where I say, actually, I don't want this feature and this feature because AI goes wild. Like I don't know if we asked it to add speech, right? That was a complete surprise. Um, but yeah, it's the follow-up questions, and that's where I do UI. I don't wanna. I want the AI to focus more on the features and the content versus the UI, because the UI can be polished. And because I have designers in the team as well, this acts more like a mock, if you will. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is super cool. I love it.
The next question is from Chetan, and he says, as a product manager, how should we think about trust and success metrics in the probabilistic output of AI tools?
Sorry, I was looking at the question that Jason just
Ah,
asked. Okay, how should we think
Chetan,
about trust and success
yeah.
metrics and the probabilistic? Yes. Well, the most important metric nowadays is helpfulness. And
Mm.
helpfulness can be defined in so many different ways. If you have a product helping people learn, it's more like, okay, well, did this help them pass their exam? Get data on that. Were they able to answer the quiz after that? Or were they able to do their end task? Or do they keep asking the same thing over and over? So a wonderful metric is helpfulness. Another metric, as I said, is refusal rate. Very, very big. Again, if you're interested, happy to talk more. In my course, we have a whole AI metric section. Um, what else do we have? There's a ton of metrics. There's conversation depth. What percentage of queries have more than like five backs and forths? Because that's when you realize, oh, this is a conversation, but is it helpful? So you want to combine helpfulness and conversation depth as a ratio. So there's all these like things you can do. And that's kind of part of AI product sense at the end of the day. AI product sense is no longer separate. But yeah, that's what
Yeah, thank you. I think Elia, your question is more around from your experience when you start with the prototype, do you use that as an initial step to share the idea only, or do you use it to identify edge cases or risks, similar to what we tested with the poem and basketball
I don't
score?
know if we have people in big tech here. You may have like someone that would be a VP in another company building a drop-down menu in big tech. So I want to say, at least now, I've scoped what I'm doing so much that it's so narrow that I don't brainstorm for new ideas anymore. Because now I am well, we set our expectations. The expectations I set for me for Q1 are to execute and launch versus scope. So I'm in execution mode. I don't want to get derailed by new ideas. So I use AI for artifacts right now and for helping me craft
Mm.
my product reviews and my trade-offs and like the script I'm gonna use for my yeah, this sort of thing.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And Jason's question. So you mentioned in an interview you don't want AI to be the PM. How do you position slash manage the conversation to ensure that you are seen as the PM and not the AI chat? Great question, Jason.
Well, that's where your storytelling needs to be good because the person I was interviewing was just reading off the screen, right? Whereas I need to be like, oh, this is what it said. Well, in practice, that may not be right. So from this, I'm gonna keep this part, and then the next query is just gonna use this part. It's kind of you show that you have your judgment. I think I overshowed that I had my judgment a little bit more than I should have. By the way, someone DM'd me to tell me that the code here is not working for the 30% off. I'll make sure to have a sidebar code working for you guys. So I'll do it now so that you have it ready. But yeah, that's kind of the answer.
Okay.
And by the way, for everyone in the Bay Area, we may be doing in-person prototyping and meetups and have with Sidebar as well. So if anyone is interested, like let me know and we can all do this together, which could be fun.
It was fantastic. I remember your session from Product Leader Summit as well. It was 2 years ago you were talking about building this, which is amazing that, sometimes we got to go back to the basics and say, hey, it's still relevant. It's still not too late. So that's great.
I remember. And back then, that's a whole other conversation. It's more like course as a
Yeah,
product. How do you, stay ahead and all these things. But yeah,
right. Right. There's one quick question from Mayank. He says, from an interview point of view, what specific skills are they now looking for AI PM roles?
I mean, AI product sense is what we've been talking about. Obviously, we can't build that in an hour.
Mm.
AI literacy, I don't like PMs that when they hear the word model training, they run away. Um, I don't like people that get so attached to their feature that they're gonna put everything in it. And that's exactly what you need to do in traditional products. But when I'm interviewing and someone will say, I'm so excited, I'm so passionate, I'm gonna hustle to get this out of the door.
Mhm.
This is not the right mindset for AI. The right mindset for AI is like, okay, we're experimenting,
Yeah.
we're moving fast. The second I get a signal that this might not be working, um, we pivot to the next thing, but we already kind of know what the next thing should be.
Mhm.
Okay. So these are kind of red flags for me. And it's that experimental culture that you need to foster with your software engineers as well. Because you can have a software, because the software engineers have a tendency to really bond with what they do. Like it's a thing. And you as the PM need to cultivate that and say, hey, let's try things around, see what sticks. Um, Software engineers, I mean, we never manage them, right? But we help them. So you want to set expectations with your software engineers and be like, hey, software engineer, um, changing from something you dove deep in and going doing something else does not mean your career goes backwards. Okay. And it means that hitting certain milestones and having an answer like, oh, we tried this didn't work, even that is progress. Okay. And that's an important thing to foster for them. Yeah, that helps.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. Um, yeah, I think one other question, Shraddha, she says there are many AI certifications popping up. How do we evaluate which one to do, especially if we are already a PM in big tech?
I mean, it depends on why, right? Do you want to find your next job? Then you want to choose something that's going to help you network, have people in the group that can help you refer. Like, I'm sure Sidebar is this as well, right? But I have my alumni has a Slack community and they all refer each other. They all meet with each other. They all do mock interviews with each other. Um, the other thing is you see the lineup of the people that are going to be coming in um, to this course and, see if you resonate, if there's anything you want to learn from them, this sort of thing. And then last, see if your company kind of pays, and that's also a very, very helpful thing. But yeah, that's it.
That's a great answer. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Marily. Okay, guys, if no other questions, then I encourage you to click on the link that Marily shared for the course. I don't say this lightly. It is one of the best courses there for AI PMs, and it's you. I've heard a lot of great reviews, and you walk away with something substantial, which is fantastic. Thank you, Marily, for your time today. Deeply appreciate you taking the time to walk us through it. And can I just say my favorite moment was seeing your reaction to the AI, the product you just built. It surprised you, and so it was really sweet to see that you still get surprised with the output sometimes, very well knowing that the input was controlled. So that was great. I hope all of you all have that moment of creating something this week or next week that puts that big smile on your faces. Please give us your feedback and stay in touch. Connect with us on LinkedIn and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Marily. Thank you so much
Thank,
again.
thank you so much. And if people want also private trainings for the companies, we also do that. And please reach out. Thank you.